Hey, what up, guys? Trying to do a couple more videos before Dragons of Tarkir drops on Friday. So I'm going to fit in some more Pauper videos for now because I don't want to pay money on new tickets just yet because I'm hoping to be drafting a little bit with the new set. So going to go back to Pauper, play a couple more Pauper decks now. Pauper Treasure Cruise was banned, which I think sucks, honestly. I'm a big fan of Treasure Cruise. I think it's a fun card. It has a lot of tension with setting up the graveyard that you want to play a lot of cheap spells, cantrips, delve lands and stuff like that in order to really fuel it. And I think that's really fun. And yeah, it's a big payoff drawing you 3 cards, but like honestly in Pauper, I don't think it's broken in Pauper. It's like Pauper is just as powerful as Legacy, if not, it's way more powerful than Modern and Standard, that's for sure. You have cards like Brainstorm, you have cards like Gush, which draws 2 cards for free as opposed to 3 cards for 1. I don't really think drawing 3 cards for 1 is that crazy or out of place in this kind of a format. So, disagree. But anyway, this deck is Turbo Fog. Now, I don't care what anybody says, I started this deck. So it drives me crazy when I see other people playing it or giving other people credit for it. I feel like I started this deck. At least my version of it. So basically, the goal of this deck is to troll hardcore on creature strategies. So how do we do that? Well, we have fogs, fog, regular fog, the original OG fog, which is great because it's 1 mana. And then we have some more powerful fogs. We have Moment's Peace, costs 2, but it has flashback, so counts as 2 fogs for 1. Respite, which gains you life for each attacking creature, so you gain a bunch of life, might buy you an extra turn in addition to the fog effect itself. And Tangle, which is another 2-turn fog, right? Everything doesn't untap, so a lot of powerful fog effects available, so we cherry pick the best ones. How do we win? And how do we guarantee that we draw all our fogs and stay alive long enough to win? Well, our win condition is Jace's Erasure. And basically, we can't win if our opponent kills all of these. So, deck is pretty weak, pretty easily disrupted, right? In that sense. But we have a million ways to draw to this. So we thin our deck a lot with the wilds and the expanses, and these were also there for fueling Treasure Cruise, although so that's out now. Maybe I should change the lands up a little bit. We've got basically basic forest, basic islands, but these are also in there because we're playing Brainstorms. And then we have some cycling lands in Lonely Sandbar and Tranquil Thicket, 2 of each. So because basically every time you draw a card, you're milling your opponent 1. So you want as many draw effects as possible because A, it draws you into more draw effects, B, it draws you into more fogs, C, it kills your opponent. Brainstorm is sick. 1 mana, mill your opponent 3 with 1 Jace's Erasure out. When you have multiple of these out, they stack, so you can really go crazy. Cards like Muddle the Mixture is in there as a way to tutor for Jace's Erasure. It also is a decent counterspell. Words of Wisdom and Vision Skeins are great because each player is drawing. So you're drawing 2 cards. You're triggering your Jace's Erasure. They're drawing a card, or they're drawing 2 cards. So this is like milling them for 4 almost. Them drawing is almost as good as them milling. It's bad in a sense, but if they're just drawing more creatures, it's not that bad. Obviously, this deck is pretty bad against burn, but we do have some things in the sideboard to help with that. So, Whirlpool Rider is the trick card in the deck, and the combos along with Gush. So Gush is a free way to draw cards. It also returns islands to your hands as its quote drawback for for the free casting cost, right? Now, so when you have this out, you Gush, you draw 2, you're milling your opponent 2. Then you Whirlpool Rider, you have 4 more cards in your hand than you did because you've drawn 2 and you've returned 2 islands to your hand. When you Whirlpool Rider, let's say you have 9 cards in your hand, you're milling your opponent 9 for each Jace's Erasure. That's going to really deck them very, very quickly. So that's really what the innovation was in this deck that made it successful for me. My sideboard, got some Nature's Claims, just for affinity or whatever, or hexproof. So both of those, you can lose that race even with the fogs. So you want to like slow them down as much as possible. For against control decks where you don't need as many fogs, got some counter spells that help you. So this counters a spell. Its controller draws 2 cards and you draw a card. So it works really well with all of your spells. Mana Leak is just Mana Leak. Benthic Giant I thought might be a good alternative win condition. Decks are likely to board out all their removal against you, and let's say they board in like naturalize effects. Might be good to have something else that can kind of just win the game. So 4/5 hexproof is pretty hard to deal with in Pauper for most non-black decks. So that's that said, the deck isn't perfect, but it works pretty often. I'd say it's pretty close to top tier, and it's very hard to play. There's a lot of decisions. When do I hold a fog up and not? When do I just take the damage? When do I cast which draw spell in what order? Very complicated deck, but it's a lot of fun, and you feel it, when it's working, you feel like you really are trolling people. So let's see if we can troll some bitches, right? What up?